Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy Boulanger. Up next on the GM expectations. Let's talk about it, man. Welcome back, GM. Man, I have been away for over a month, man. Just been really trying to find a way to get back to connect with you guys. And every time I pick a date in a time frame, something pops up, man. So I just said, let me shoot my shot, man. Let me jump in here today and just talk a little bit about the Baltimore Ravens. I don't really want to highlight any particular person. You know, we all know the big names on campus: Lamar Jackson, Zay. Been hearing a lot about Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, Kyle Hamilton. Just been hearing a lot of buzz about several different players, and so we can talk about what they've been doing in training camp, and we can talk about what we should expect coming Friday in preseason game number 2. But I just want to focus on the season, right? I believe personally this season is shaping up to be like last season, at least the start of it. We understand that last season we didn't really know what to expect. We had a lot of high hopes for the Todd Monken installation, but I remember saying last season that it would take 4 weeks before we really understood what the Baltimore Ravens would be offensively. And right on schedule, that's kind of what happened. We began to see them find themselves around week 5. I think the same thing happens this season. I think that there will be a learning curve um, as it pertains to Todd Monk in year 2 and the implementation of Derrick Henry. It's kind of the first time the Baltimore Ravens in the Lamar Jackson era has had a running back with the potential, credentials, and career that Derrick Henry has had and could have in a Baltimore Ravens uniform. It's the first time we really had that type of workhorse. Yes, Gus Edwards was good, and yes, J.K. Dobbins had a lot of potential, but we have not had a Derrick Henry type. And so I'm super, super interested to see what Derrick Henry does in a Baltimore Ravens uniform. We can all foresee the potential for him and Lamar to do damage in that run game. Imagining, Lamar Jackson faking the handoff to Derrick Henry, or hitting a couple of read option plays where he decides to hand it off or keep it. Definitely complicating a defensive game plan. But what can we really expect from this team as a whole? I've had a lot of conversations and I've seen a lot of commentary that the Baltimore Ravens are a better team this year than they were last year. And we can kind of parse that out and kind of talk about who left and who came in and all those kind of things. And whether they're better or worse, that's going to be seen on the field. But if we believe that they are a better team, then that means we should probably get better outcome when it comes to how the season concludes. You see, if we are a better team, whether even if it's just on defense, we should get a better result in the playoffs. We should end up in an AFC championship and claim a victory in that AFC championship if we are better, if we are a better team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Can we expect a revisit to the AFC championship? Possibly. Can we expect a Super Bowl visit? Possibly. I think those things are appropriate to be proper expectations. But the question is, uh, do we have the mentality in year number 2 to put all things together? Do we have the mentality as a team? Do we have the leadership as a team to kind of put everything in its proper place? Yes, we lost some pieces from last year's team. We lost some leadership. We lost some top end talent. And so a lot of players this year are going to be replacement parts. Adequate, I might add, replacement parts, but replacement parts nonetheless. Will Trenton Simpson have um, a learning process to overcome before he fully fills Patrick Queen's um, shoes? Has he shown a lot of potential? Yes, we see a lot of times in training camp observation where he's been smashing guys. He's been hard hitting. He's been good in coverage. Marlon Humphrey shows that he is healthy and definitely has a lot of on-field improvement this offseason than last offseason. Marcus Williams is on the field and healthy. Eddie Jackson could be an adequate replacement for a guy like a Geno Stone. So we've seen tons and tons of potential. Nate Wiggins has had a good showing in last week's game. So we see a lot of potential, which then builds in our expectation, right? So I want you guys to drop into the comment section. What is your expectation for the Baltimore Ravens? Should we expect a better result? Should we expect a similar result? Or should we be expecting a drop off and a less result? Me personally, I expect no less than an AFC championship. I don't know if we get to the Super Bowl, because the reason why I say that is because I haven't seen the coaching staff really change enough or step up enough to get the Baltimore Ravens over the hump. Yes, players play the game on the field, but coaches are the ones who do game planning and installs and put in different packages and groupings and so on and so forth. And so that's, I think, going to be the question, right? Will this coaching staff be a benefit to the Baltimore Ravens success, or will they be a detriment to the Baltimore Ravens success? Because we have to be honest, right? In part, the coaching staff was a culprit in the Baltimore Ravens falling short in the AFC championship, right? I'm not going to pinpoint anybody in particular, but the coaching staff was a culprit, right? And then the players, of course, stumbled over the game plan as well. So, will they make the necessary adjustments as a coaching staff with a lot of, again, replacement parts, a lot of new additions, and so on and so forth? Will they make the needed adjustments and game planning and strategy and scheme to get the Baltimore Ravens over the hump? I'm not going to say that the Ravens players are more talented than last season, because we absolutely lost a lot. But I will say the same quality of player, or a similar quality of player, we do have in house. There are still some questions at the offensive line. There's still some questions at the wide receiving group. There are still some questions about the edge rush position. Um, Questions that I don't think have been adequately answered at this point. But that's why there's going to be a learning curve when the season begins. But I still believe our expectations are going to be filtered through the ability and capability of this coaching staff to present game plan after game plan after game plan, week by week, to put the Baltimore Ravens in the best position to win. Because we absolutely have a heavyweight type schedule consistently. Probably 14 of the 17 games this season is going to be a battle. There's no game you can really look at and say the Baltimore Ravens should win this by 7 points, by 10 points, by 2 touchdowns. Every game is going to be a battle. And I think the key is going to be the coaching staff, man. So let me know what you guys want me to know, man. What do you guys think the key is to getting over the hump this season? Should we expect an AFC championship? Should we expect a Super Bowl berth? Should we expect a title, or should we expect something less than what we saw last season? Also, do you think the coaching staff is one of the main keys to the success of the Ravens this season? I'm your guy Boulanger, man. Welcome to the GM, and I'm glad to be back, man. Check you guys out later this week. I'm out.